Hello 7th and 8th grade violas. This is Skill Builder 9, and today we're going to start looking at A Day at Disneyland. So go ahead and take your music out. Remember, this is the piece that we're playing with all of the 6th through 12th grade string players. So this is really exciting that we're going to start working on this. You, of course, are playing the viola part, and you are playing the same part as the high school violas. So as you're looking through this, you might see that there's some tricky stuff that maybe is a little bit harder than what we've done in class. That's okay. I want you to do your best on it. If there's a few things that you can't play perfectly, it's not the end of the world, but I have a feeling that you guys will be able to be pretty successful with this as we go through it. So we're going to take this slow. Every week we're going to do just a small section, and then eventually we'll be able to put it all together. So this week we're just looking at measures 1 through 37. And I do have some of them up, and I will eventually get them all up, of the small sections of play along, so you can go on YouTube, or I will also post it in Google Classroom and find just measures 1 through 37, listen to all the parts together, and then find just your part to work on. The first two things that we should always look at as we're looking at a new piece of music are the key signature and the time signature. And by the way, the key and time signatures change all the time throughout this piece, and so every time we look at a new section, we are going to have to check and make sure, see what has changed, or make sure that things have not changed, so that we know what to play, what notes to play, and what our beat is, how we're counting our rhythm with the time signature. And so I'm taking a look here at the key signature. I see there's 1 sharp. Hopefully as 7th and 8th graders, you know that that means that there is just an F sharp in the key signature, which should trigger something in your brain to say, that means my C's are natural. And eventually I'm sure you'll come across some C's that you'll have to play as low 2 on the A string. My time signature is 6/8. This is why we've been doing so much work in 6/8 the last couple of weeks, because it was a new skill for all of us, but as you can see, it's all over the place in this piece of music. So we have to be really comfortable with 6/8. And if you're not super comfortable with it yet, I promise as we keep working on this, it will get a little bit easier for you. All right, and so we're going to jump right in with the very first line here, and we're going to work our way to 37 in this video. Okay, so looking at the first line, the rhythms, again, we're in 6/8, so hopefully this looks kind of familiar to some of the things we've been doing in class. We start with 3 eighth notes, so those would be beats 1, 2, 3, and then you have a dotted quarter note. That's a 3-beat note, so that would be beats 4, 5, 6, but it is tied to another dotted half note, which is a 6-beat note. So that second note that you play is actually 9 beats. Okay, now they're 9 very fast beats, because eventually this is going to be played very quickly, but for right now just know it is 9 beats. Measure 3, we have just 6 eighth notes, pretty easy, and then measures 4 and 5, we just have some dotted quarter notes, so some 3-beat notes. As I'm looking through this, I also see that you have some accidentals, some B flats, so you'll have, for those sections where it's marked as an accidental, a low 1 on the A string. And if you look at the note in measure 1 that's tied to measure 2, that accidental is going to carry over because the note is tied. So continue to hold a B flat. Let's play this slowly, counting to 6, getting all the way through this first line. I'm going to set my fingers down, and I'll get ready to play a B flat in a moment here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do that one more time, just a little bit faster, getting a feel for what that fast 6/8 will be. At the end, I'll play it a little bit faster, not quite the full high school tempo yet, but a little bit faster so you can have a chance, if you're ready for a challenge, to try it faster. So a little bit faster. How about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ready? And here we go. Awesome. Then you have some rests. You have 3.5 measures of rest. And then we get to measure 9. Measure 9 is starting the Mickey Mouse March. This is a medley of different tunes, so that's the first tune we come across. And hopefully as you're looking at this, you recognize what's written there. You're hopefully saying, that's hooked bowing. That's something that we worked on last week in our skill builder. You see the down, down, and the up, up. Now they don't have the staccato marking on the eighth notes, but this is going to be played exactly the same as if they did have the staccato marking. This is just a different way to write this. And so we have down, down, up, down, up, which hopefully you feel pretty good about after last week working on that in the skill builder. The one thing I'll point out to you is that in measure 12, that is an F sharp on the C string, so that's a high 3, so make sure you're watching out for that. There is a first and second ending here, so eventually we will take this as a repeat, but right now I'm just going to start at measure 9 and play through measure 16, and then we'll stop and talk about what comes next. Okay, starting on a B, 2 on G. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ready, and here we go. High 3. All right, awesome. You would then go back to measure 9. We're not going to do that right now. We'll move forward to measure 18. And in measure 18, it's hard to tell because we don't have all of the other parts here, but you are actually the echo. So the cellos and basses play something during the beats that you rest, and then you're the echo in measure 18. You play on measures 4, 5, 6, and then hold that long note in 19. This is a pretty simple section, so we should be able to sight read together using our knowledge of 6/8, starting at measure 18 and going to measure 26. So I don't see any crazy accidentals or anything, so just set your fingers and get ready to roll. So I'll say count to 6, and then I'll count our 3 beats of rest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. All right, hopefully that wasn't too bad. And then moving on to 26, you should see that 26 looks just like measure 9. It really is a repeat until we get to measure 32, and at 32 we are going to hold four dotted half notes. So those 6-beat notes, they have accents on them, so you'll play them with a little bit of extra oomph like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then in 36, there's a new time signature. So I said it changes in between sections. Sometimes it changes in the middle of the section to help with the transition. And so here at 36, we are changing to 4, 4. So now instead of counting our eighth notes, we're counting our quarter notes, and there's 4 in every measure. And you get this really cool thing that only the violas have. It's in measure 36. It sounds like this. So in 36, you have a B flat, low 2 on the G string. You also have an E flat, low 1 on the D string. And then when you get to 37, you go back to a B natural, which is a high 2 on G. Let's do that slowly together, which this actually is pretty slow. And when we play it all together with everybody, it actually does slow down in this section too. Over these 2 measures, we slow right down. So let's do 36 and 37. So 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. All right, a beautiful feature of our viola section. All right, so that's everything, 1 through 37. I'm going to go through, we'll play this 2 times. The first time I'll do it pretty slow, and then I'll do it a little bit faster in case you're ready for that challenge. So here I go from the beginning, and I will take the repeat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ready, and here we go. 2, 2, 2, here we go. Repeat to 9. Six, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. right. If that was a challenge for you, if maybe you struggled to play through with me, this is a good time to pause. Go back and work on the parts you're having a hard time with. As 7th and 8th graders, I would expect you to have some practice strategies down to work through challenging parts. And then once you have it down, you can come back and try it the slow version. So go rewind and play the slow version, and then move on to what I'm about to do, which is the fast version, okay? Just to give you an idea, this is how fast the high schoolers are playing it, and we will eventually play it. But let's not do it quite that fast right now. How about we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ready, and here we go. 1, 2, and here we go. Awesome. All right. So you have all week to work on this. Next day one in class, we'll start to practice it together. So make sure you have it down by then, or at least have a good part of it down. It's okay if it's not perfect, but you should at least have an understanding of how this goes by the next day one. And then next skill builder, we'll continue to look at the next section. All right. So everyone have a great day, and I will see you in class.